out.
Hear us out.
Hear us out. Hear us out. Hear us out. Hear us out, man. Hear us out. Hear us out. Hear us out. Hear us out. Yo, okay. Hear me out? No. Hear you out.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to PhillyCAM. Hear us out on 106 on WPPL L Philadelphia 106.5 FM. I am Rahman.
I'm Edward.
And I'm Summer.
Okay, now before we get into today's topic, I just want to say breaking news election. A couple days before, no, after we did election, Donald Trump. My bad. Joe Biden has been elected for president. Kamala Harris has been elected for vice president to be the first African American and Asian American president. And Donald Trump is suing to do a recount.
Yeah, so I would say overall, I'm excited about this personally. I think personally for me, this is really inspirational and motivational for me because, our VP is a African American woman, and we've never seen this before. We've seen a Black president before, which we all know was a very proud moment for a lot of people in the Black community. And now we have a female Black VP. So again, we have really just broke down some boundaries, and we really just broke down these walls of just something that we've never seen before in history. We've made history, and I'm personally very excited.
Well, yeah, I'm very proud too because I'm really we are actually moving up. I'm ready to see what can we improve due to having a Black president. Vice president. My bad.
And I just wanted to say thank you to Philadelphia because without y'all, it would have been a whole different story.
Yep.
It would have been a whole different story.
Philly really showed out for this one. So thank you, Philadelphia. Really. Big
like
thing.
Donald Trump said, bad things happen here just to him.
Exactly. So with talking about Philly, another one of our topics that we wanted to talk about before we got into the main topic of the show is police brutality and mental health. So this has just been something that it's existed for years. And recently, in recent years, it's just become something that's very relevant within conversations today. And recently, there was a shooting just a few weeks ago. And Ramon, I think you wanted to talk specifically more about that topic.
Yeah. Today's show, we're dedicating the show to Walter Wallace. I wanted to say it's really kind of hard to express how you feel because it happens all the time. Once you say it once or twice, it doesn't have a meaning to it. You keep on doing it, nothing will change. So it's really hard to get your point across for people to actually understand you. Actually stop.
Yeah, exactly. And just to give a little bit of background about the story, Walter Wallace Jr. was a 27-year-old man. He was a father and a son. And he was shot and killed one morning early in Philadelphia. And ever since then, that was the most recent shooting that I think was really big for the Black community ever since Breonna Taylor and George Floyd. And the main reason why we really wanted to dedicate this show to Walter Wallace was because we are talking about police brutality and mental health, but he was also from Philadelphia. And obviously with us all being based here, it's a big deal for us. And just to add to what Ramon was saying, it's just tiring. It's very tiring talking about this topic and just constantly having to bring up the fact that these shootings are just wrong. They shouldn't be happening. And there needs to be some more sort of regulation or something to the police department, to laws, to something, to training. Like there just needs to be something added. Something needs to be changed. And thank you to anybody who's been going out and protesting and who's been fighting for this, because it is a big deal and it does matter. And I think another thing to add to our topic of mental health is that, you know, he was someone who did have mental illness, and he did, you know, that was reported in the report. But I think what's really important is to really remember that there were families behind not just this story, but all these stories. But to specifically talk about this story, he has a family. He has children. He had, you know, a mom, a dad. I think he had a wife, I'm pretty sure. And, you know, I think that can even add to the topic of mental health, because experiencing that, especially when you're there, because his mom was there, that can affect your mental health.
Exactly, because I know, like, for me personally, I like live with somebody who like deal with mental illness, and I've been in that situation before, just like with Walter Wallace's mom. We just trying to diffuse the whole situation, be right before it goes south, and like, you know, it's hard, it's difficult, because like you got one end, you got this one like officer just trying to quote unquote do a job, and like you just got whoever you trying to protect, they're stuck wherever they're at, you know, up there. It's hard. It's just hard to diffuse the situation where all these factors are just in play, and yeah, it's just a bad situation for any party to be in. And like just for like today's topic, like today's topic, we're going to be like going over film and stuff, but I want to like mention like a scene from Silver Lining Playbook. Silver Lining Playbook is starring Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence, which was also shot in Philly and like in the Upper Darby area. It was a scene in particular where he was looking for his wedding tape, which is Bradley Cooper character, looking for his wedding tape. He having like a whole episode. He can't find it. He getting louder and louder. The scene intense. He's waking up the neighbors, and it's almost like sort of what happened with Walter Wallace. Like they call the cops. You know, the neighbors getting involved. Everybody's getting involved. You know, they just want to know what's going on. Like it's just a whole lot of factors that plays into like mental illness as a whole,
right?
And not just like the one person that's going through it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, it's really hard to say. It's like, it's very disturbing. Like very, like I hope with the new elected president and vice president, they will make a change.
Yeah. So fingers crossed on that topic, and we're really just gonna hope that there will be some sort of change in the near future. But even talking about Silver Linings Playbook, talking about movies. So yes, so as Edward mentioned briefly before, that today's topic is about film. So we're going to be talking a little bit about the history of film and the relevance of film, and how topics that everybody, you know, discuss within society, and how they have been shown in movies and short films and commercials and everything that has to do with film. So Silver Linings Playbook was a really good example, Edward. But another example that we also talked about was the movie The Hate You Give with Amanda Stenberg.
Yes.
So this is just a movie about a teenage girl, Amanda's character, and she was in a specific situation where her friend was actually a victim of police brutality. He was shot and killed, and she was there. And so that's what the movie is about, and it's brought up a lot of activism with this topic. I don't exactly remember what year it was made. It was made a few years ago. I want to say maybe 3 or 2 years ago.
It's like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right about that. Yeah, so there's one specific scene though of the movie that I think really struck a lot of conversation about who's really right and wrong and how do you really go about dealing with the situation of police brutality. And it's the scene where Amanda's character is talking to her uncle, who is played by Common, and she basically asked him, what would you do in a situation where you felt that you were possibly threatened? Because that's usually the statement that most cops who are in the situation of police brutality use. They said they feel that they're threatened. So we have a little audio recording of that scene, and I think we're going to cue that in really quick, and then we'll talk about it afterwards.
Some people don't see what happened to Khalil as a crime. They see it as a traffic stop gone wrong.
How?
A lot goes through a cop's mind when they pull someone over, especially if they have to get into a pissing contest with the driver about why they stopped them. It sets off an alarm. The officer thinks, are they hiding something? Is the car stolen? Now, if there's a girl in the passenger seat like you, does she look all right? Has she been beaten or raped? If they start talking to each other and not the officer, we figure they might be trying to distract. What are they hiding in the car? Drugs, a weapon? Now, if the driver starts to insult the officer, we try to verbally get control of the situation. But if they still don't comply, then we have to use force.
But you still don't know if they did anything wrong.
Well, that's why we searched them, to make sure that they don't have a weapon. We run their license and instruct them not to move. But if they open the door or reach through an open window, they're probably going for a weapon. So if I think I see a gun, I don't hesitate. I shoot.
You shoot? Because you think you see a gun? You don't say something first? Like, put your hands up?
It depends. Is it night? Can I see? Am I on duty alone?
What if you were in a white neighborhood and it was a white man wearing a suit, driving a Mercedes? He could be a drug dealer, right?
He could.
So if you saw him reach into the window and you thought that you saw a gun, would you shoot him?
Well, great scene, great
Yeah.
scene. It's just crazy that you have to have those type of conversations at like a young age. It's just, the movie just set a perfect tone.
Yeah.
That's all I'm trying to say.
I think it showed a really good example of the disconnection between the two sides of the conversation. And I think that's what was mostly really moving about the whole movie. And I think they really executed that really, really well.
Well, I want to move on to this next part of our segment of the show. I would talk about like the films that are being filmed in like Philly. So recently, Philadelphia being one of the most hottest places to film a film recently. Like I mentioned earlier, we had Silver Lining Playbook, we had the Creed series, Split, Unbreakable, Glass, just some really classic films. So I would just like to talk about like the top reasons why filming in Philadelphia would be like a great place to start off like your film career, or like trying to add something else to your bio. Definitely shoot a film in Philly. I'm about to give you the reason why. So this article I found online is the Greater Philadelphia office. The Greater Philadelphia Film Office. For my listeners out there, you want to go to www.film.org. Definitely want to look that up if you're into that type of stuff. And I just want to point out a few things on what I saw from the article that was on the website. So savings. So Pennsylvania, right? Pennsylvania, they got a tax credit for a great incentive for a film in the greater Philadelphia area. So basically, what that means is Pennsylvania offer a 25 to 30% tax credit, and the film production that spread like at least excuse me, sorry, the film production that spend like at least 60% of the production in that area in Pennsylvania or Philadelphia, they get a production cost within the state that will qualify them for other incentives, such as like police assistance. So you need police to, police the area. We're shooting a scene here. Don't come in. Free security guards. So you want to shoot in a hotel, got hotel taxes. So basically, the tax credit is a great way to save money when you're on a budget, when you're trying to shoot a film. So you're trying to save money. Philly is definitely a good place to start. And we got location. Now, we all know Philly is a great historic city, very how I put it, very historic. Depends on like how you try to make a film. You want to make it in like a time period piece, you can do that because we still got old buildings around that look like they're still in 18 whatever, whenever they was built. right? right. We still have those buildings. We got the modern day buildings. So the location here is pretty good. We kind of have a little reminiscence of New York and a little bit of like like New York. You can say Atlanta a little bit. You can get away with it, but we definitely have like those structures. So if you want to film the film in Philly, but say it's in New York, you can definitely get away with that. And last but not least, filming in New York definitely benefits the local community and our local businesses. So they just talk about how like if they film like a certain scene in like I don't know, I would say like a corner store at Spring Garden Street, like they'll get money for that for like have them shoot the film in there, and plus it become like a tourist attraction. Oh man, I saw this in that one film, so I definitely want to go to this store now. Not knowing it's still in Philly, but yeah, so it definitely helps out a lot, get notoriety for your businesses. And it just, when you want to make a film in Philly, like, you got like very, very good, cheap location, save money, and a historic place. So definitely, if you want to make a film here, definitely do it here and call it New York, but it's cheap here.
Yeah,
and also,
tax.
facts. And
Yeah,
also,
go ahead.
Huh? Also, right before I wrap my part up, there's a new movie coming out in Philly called Hustle, starring Adam Sandler, Queen Latifah, and it being produced by LeBron James. It's a basketball movie. We don't know the full detail. We just know that Adam Sandler character is a basketball recruiter down on his luck, and he's trying to hit on the right prospect. So, pretty much.
Cool. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Hotel tax. I was saying before, I've never heard of that before. I didn't know that there was a tax for that. It's so interesting.
Yeah, it's like a hotel tax. Like this article had like a lot of good information on there for like big producers. If you want to make like a film, if you really like on a budget, you can only afford the actors and you can't afford nothing else. Philly's the way to go.
Yeah. That sounds cool. So speaking of films that are being made in Philly and just talking about the legalities and everything of film, I just want to give a little bit of a background of the history of film, because film has turned into more than just movies or TV shows. It's turned into like commercials and even TikTok. So, the first film ever that was like really made, of course, was a silent film, which I think most people know. And that was all the way back in way back years. And something that I also wanted to say that was really important about the history of film is that the way that it's just evolved, it's now involved topics like politics and police brutality, mental health, as we saw in The Hate U Give. And they weren't just for entertainment. They were also for actually getting a specific message out there to an audience. And with now in today in 2020, we have TikToks, which we know the whole vibe of TikTok really started with Vines. But TikTok, you know, there was actually an article that I was reading that was telling you how to become famous on TikTok. And they were telling you to use apps like Adobe Premiere, which is a whole film editing app that's, you know, used to make movies and like short films and stuff. So I just thought it was really funny that just doing the research on like the history of film and then what we have now with like video is just, it's really interesting. But Ramon, I know you want to talk a lot about actors because you want to be an actor.
Since we talked about all film and like what you can do, we have to talk about actors. So first, we just want to start off by like saying what our favorite actors are. My favorite actor is Tyler Perry, due to he was the one that inspired me because when I was around 6 to 8, I started writing my own plays, getting inspired by movies. I never knew you could be in your own movie and make your own movie and be in your movie. So that's why he inspired me. He's not just an actor or a director. He's actually inspirational. He inspires people to be better. Almost every movie and every play he has a lesson behind it to get you to laugh, cry, to like that you know you could get through it. So that's why he's my favorite actor.
Cool.
Me personally, my favorite actor is Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy, my favorite actor because, you know, I told like the crew earlier, right before the show started, that like really why Eddie Murphy my favorite actor because, well, he kind of resembled my dad a little bit. He got like that same facial structure and everything. And as my dad keep on going in and out of the house, I'm like, dang, I need a role model or something. And then I look on TV, I see Eddie Murphy, Beverly Hills Cop, and I'm like, yeah, this the guy. Look just like him. Funny, serious. He just jack of all trades is Eddie Murphy, man. One of the greatest comedians ever and one of the greatest actors ever.
Yeah, and I know most people saw Moonlight. It's won a lot of awards, but my favorite actor is Ashton Sanders. He played the teenage version of the main character. I really love him. I think he's so versatile, and I think he's really talented. He's super talented. But now we are going to be interviewing Ramon's aunt, right? Yeah. And I think you're gonna introduce her.
So our featured guest is my aunt. Her name is Darletta Dupas. She is a Tony Award-winning nominee for Best Performing Actress in Feature Role for The Mighty Gins in 1978. In addition to her impressive theatrical resume on and off Broadway, Mrs. Dupas is often recognized for her role in culture film classics including Friday After the Next with Ice Cube, Mike Gibbs, Big Mama House with Martin Lawrence and Oliver Stone, South Central. She has appeared alongside James L. Stone, Claire Fisher Stone, Steve Harvey, and Denzel Washington, and many other. Millions around the world still remember her role as the late Whitney Houston mother in the movie Waiting to Exhale. Miss Dupas, please welcome to Hear Us Out.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, welcome.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Welcome.
Happy to be here.
That's
Happy to be home.
Okay, let's get into the question. How did you become an actress?
Well, it's very interesting. I went to college in Maryland, actually as a biology student. But Marion Sujet, that you guys have heard about, the Sujet, she would come down and we would do theater there on campus. And I did Medea. It's a Greek tragedy. Hell hath no fury as a woman scorned. Mine was Ennui's. And at any rate, the light bulb went off. And so I decided, and I discovered I was gifted. So I got my degree in biology, and then I went on to New York to study acting. And I started working right away with Wine Cellars By of Ron Milner, and then on to Broadway with Mighty Gents, and was blessed to be nominated first time out in that play, in the Mighty Gents. And from that, by doing theater in New York, movie people would come. So the folks for The Gambler, the folks for A Death Wish came to see me in a play. And so I was able to audition and book those movies. So I started doing film as well in New York. Butterfly McQueen, I did 7 Wishes of Joanna Peabody, which was a cute children's program. So, and then would just work and moved out to Los Angeles, started doing film and TV out here. But my first love has always been theater. So when I've had gotten the opportunity to get back and do that, then I still do theater. August Wilson's plays. I've done one there in Philadelphia, Fences, when my dad was ill and I came home to take care of him. And then the rest of my career in terms of TV and film, we just had a premiere for True to the Game 2.
Yes.
That it is now out. 3 will come next year. And The Notebook. So one of my favorite, I'm going to segue into another question. One of my favorite plays to do, actually, I started there in Philly, Raisin in the Sun by Lorraine Hansberry. And I've been blessed to do all women, all of the women in the play. Beneatha, they're in Philadelphia at Freedom Theater. Then Ruth, we did it also for American Playhouse with Danny Glover and Esther Roll, that you can watch now on video. And then now I'm old enough to play Lena Younger playing Mama. So it's a joy to have seen this play through the eyes of all these women. And of course, the play is a classic.
Wow.
It was very,
Well, we have
very exciting to have you on to talk about that. And so thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you for coming.
So now there were some other questions.
The last question, since you only got 3 minutes left, I have to make a quick question.
Okay.
Your last question is, what advice do you have for younger actors, actresses like me and others?
The advice I would have for you: 1, you have to be disciplined. 2, being on time. And this is in any profession. 3, giving the very, very best that you have to offer. Some people go to work and do just enough not to get fired. You want to set an example that you're so necessary for any project because of your work ethic, and that not to be discouraged. I'm in a business where they say no a lot. So if I didn't know my gift, and if I weren't persistent, the yes will wipe out any no I've ever heard. That's what's so phenomenal about being an actor. And I would encourage you, my nephew, and anyone, if this is what you want to do, you need to study. We make it look effortless, but we are rehearsing over and over and over again. One of the biggest things you have to be able to do is memorize your lines. And sometimes, especially in theater, you have to memorize yours and the other person in case you see a blank look in their eye that they have forgotten, and you want to be able to pull them back in. And also, it's a family affair. It's just not you shining. You want the ensemble. You want everyone to shine, so that the work awesome.
Yeah, well, thank you for coming on our show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
It's been my pleasure, and I rejoice with you.